Welcome back to Everyday English Pod, everybody. We are all about getting you smarter and doing it quickly.
That's right. We take a whole bunch of information and then we sift through it all to pull out the stuff that you really need, the good stuff that's going to help you improve your life.
And today we're going to be talking about something that touches every part of our lives, and especially when you're learning something new, like English. Building self-confidence.
You know, it's amazing how much of a difference confidence makes in just about everything we do, like how we deal with challenges, how we connect with people, and ultimately how happy and successful we are.
Right. And all the stuff we're going to be talking about today comes from people who spent a lot of time thinking about learning English.
Yeah.
You know, they've really looked at how self-confidence affects people learning English.
Right.
But really, everything we talk about today, you can apply to pretty much anything that you want to improve on in your life.
Absolutely.
So our goal today is to give you some actual steps that you can take to build your self-confidence stuff that you can start doing today.
Right.
Okay, so let's just jump right into it. Where does confidence even come from? Like, where does that feeling come from?
Well, everything we looked at seems to say that it all starts with believing in yourself. You know, believing that you can actually do things.
Yeah, it's like if you don't think you can do something, it's going to be really hard to get yourself to do it.
Exactly. And what's really interesting is that this self-belief, it's not just some kind of feeling that's locked away inside of you. Other people can sense it too.
Yeah.
You know, when you believe in yourself, it really shows. You can just see it. And that can make a huge difference, especially when you're learning something like English.
Okay, so how do we grow that self-belief? Because you can't just decide one day, like, I'm going to believe in myself, and then suddenly you do.
Right. Yeah, that would be nice. No, it's a process, and one of the most effective ways to do that is by setting small, achievable goals, you know, like building a snowball.
Like a bunch of little wins that start to build up over time.
Exactly. When you set a goal that you can actually reach, and then you actually reach that goal, you have proof that you are actually making progress.
Yeah.
And what's cool is that achieving even these small goals triggers a little bit of dopamine to be released in your brain.
Yeah.
And that makes you feel good. It reinforces those positive feelings and makes you more likely to believe in yourself even more.
Okay. So it's kind of like it gets you addicted to accomplishing things.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the English Learning Podcast even gave us some examples like learning new vocabulary or phrases every week.
Right.
Those might seem like tiny little things, but each one is a sign that you're learning and you're improving, and that helps to build your overall self-confidence.
So small goals.
Yeah.
Small goals are key. But what's something that can really hurt our confidence?
Comparing yourself to other people. It's something we all do. It's almost automatic, you know?
Well,
we look around and we see how we measure up against other people, but it can be really bad for your confidence.
oh, I know that feeling really well. Especially with learning English. You hear someone who sounds so fluent, and you just think, I'm never going to be that good.
Yeah, but the important thing to remember is that everyone learns at their own pace. We all start from different places. We have different strengths and weaknesses and different things that we need to work on.
Right.
The focus needs to be on your own journey and your own progress, not on comparing yourself to someone else. You know, it's like comparing what's happening behind the scenes in your life to someone's highlight reel.
Right. So instead of looking around at other people, we should really be looking back and seeing how far we've come and celebrating those little victories, no matter how small they might seem.
That's right. Every step forward, every new thing that you can say or understand is something to celebrate. It's your own unique path, and your growth is what matters.
Now, one interesting idea that came up was the power of positive self-talk. What's that all about?
Well, think about the things that you say to yourself in your head. You know the things you're always thinking about. Positive self-talk means choosing to say encouraging and supportive things to yourself, you know, saying nice things about yourself and your abilities.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, ugh, I messed that up, it's more like, okay, that didn't go the way I wanted, but I learned something.
Right.
You know, instead of dwelling on your mistakes, you actively tell yourself things like, hey, I'm getting better at understanding English, or I can do this. The idea is that this helps to retrain your brain to believe in yourself more and overcome those feelings of fear and doubt.
It sounds like it might be a little weird at first to talk to yourself like that.
Yeah.
But I can see how just constantly putting yourself down would really hurt your confidence over time.
Right. It's all about changing those things that you say to yourself. You know, by focusing on your strengths and your successes, you can create a stronger and more resilient mindset for yourself. And that can really help you overcome your fears and give you the confidence that you need to speak more freely and to take on new challenges.
Yeah, speaking of fear, The fear of making mistakes can be a huge obstacle, especially when you're learning a new language and you have to really put yourself out there.
Right. And it's really great that everything we looked at really encouraged us to view mistakes differently. Instead of seeing them as failures, we should see them as a normal part of the learning process. In fact, seeing challenges and mistakes as opportunities for growth is really important for improving in the long term and feeling good about yourself.
So every time I mess up, I'm actually getting better.
Exactly. The more mistakes you allow yourself to make, the more chances you have to improve. Don't be afraid to speak up, even if you're not sure about your grammar or how to say something.
Yeah, but that can be hard to do.
I know, but every mistake is an opportunity to learn something new. And when you make a mistake, it makes it less likely that you're going to make that same mistake again.
Right.
It's all part of mastering English or anything new you're learning.
Okay. So embrace your mistakes. Got it. What else can we do to build confidence?
Practice consistently. The more you use English, the more comfortable you're going to become. And the more comfortable you are, the more confident you're going to feel.
It's kind of like anything you want to get good at, right? The more you do it, the more natural it becomes.
Yeah, exactly. Try to make English a regular part of your daily life. Like, talk to people, watch TV shows, read articles, and listen to podcasts in English. All that exposure and practice will make English feel much more natural, and it will help you feel more comfortable and confident.
Now, what about those times when you know you're going to have to use English, like if you have to give a presentation or you have a meeting?
Well, being prepared can make a big difference. When you take the time to prepare for a conversation, a presentation, or even just a regular chat, you're naturally going to feel more confident.
Yeah, knowing what you want to say and how you want to say it can really take a lot of pressure off.
Yeah, absolutely. It reduces anxiety and it gives you more control. It's like rehearsing for a play. The more prepared you are, the more comfortable and confident you're going to be when it's time to perform.
Okay, so we need to practice and prepare. But what about when things get tough? How do we deal with challenges?
Well, the research suggests that we should look at challenges as opportunities. When you face a difficult situation, try to see it as a chance to grow and improve.
So don't back down. Instead, lean into it.
Exactly. Every challenge that you overcome makes you a little bit stronger and a little bit more confident. So start with smaller challenges and slowly work your way up to bigger ones. It's just like working out at the gym. You don't start by lifting the heaviest weights.
Right, yeah. You have to build up to it.
Exactly. And remember that you don't have to go through it alone. Having a good support system with friends, family, or other people who are learning English can make a really big difference.
Yeah, it's always nice to know that you've got people cheering you on and encouraging you to keep going.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to ask for help or to practice with other people. And don't be afraid to share your journey with others. Having that support can really boost your confidence.
Now, this one might seem a little bit unrelated, but a lot of the things we read also talked about taking care of yourself, like your physical health. How does that relate to confidence?
Well, it's more connected than you might think. Your physical and mental health both affect how confident you feel. When you feel good overall, it's much easier to feel confident.
So like getting enough sleep, eating healthy, the basics.
Yeah, all that stuff. Taking care of yourself, getting enough rest, eating right, and making time for things that you enjoy, all that stuff helps to keep you energized and focused. And when you feel good physically and mentally, you can think more clearly and you have a more positive outlook on life, which naturally leads to more confidence.
Yeah, that makes sense. When I'm tired and stressed out, it's hard to feel confident about anything.
Exactly. And on a slightly different note, we also read about how body language affects confidence.
You mean like how we stand and move and stuff?
Yeah. Did you know that just standing up straight and making eye contact when you're talking to somebody and speaking clearly can actually help you feel more confident?
Really?
Yeah. When you act confident, even if you don't feel confident, your brain can start to believe it too.
So it's kind of like fake it till you make it.
Yeah, there's definitely some truth to that. Your body language doesn't just communicate things to other people, it communicates things to yourself too.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. So by practicing confident body language, even if you're feeling a little nervous inside, you can start to build your self-confidence.
So stand tall, shoulders back, eye contact. Got it. We talked about setting goals before, but I noticed that came up again in a lot of the things we read.
Right. And it's something that's really worth emphasizing. Setting small, realistic goals and tracking your progress as you go is so important.
Yeah, actually seeing that you're moving forward must be really encouraging.
It is. And every time you achieve one of those goals, even if it's a small one, it gives you more confidence and motivates you to keep going. You can start with really simple things like learning 3 new English words every day or having a short conversation in English with someone.
And it's also important to give yourself credit for all the progress you've already made.
Oh, that's such a good point. It's so easy to focus on how much more you want to learn, but it's really important to take a step back and see how far you've already come.
Yeah.
Celebrating your achievements, no matter how big or small, is really important for building lasting confidence and staying motivated.
It's kind of like acknowledging the wins that you've already made so that you can keep moving forward and make even more wins.
Yeah, exactly. Be proud of every step you take forward because every little bit of progress counts. And when you acknowledge that progress, it strengthens your confidence and makes you even more determined to keep going.
We also talked about positive self-talk earlier, but that
Okay.
seems to be a really important idea, so I wanted to talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah, it really is. And I don't think we can overstate how much the things we say to ourselves affect our confidence.
Yeah, it's like having a little voice in your head that's either cheering you on or putting you down.
Exactly. And you definitely want that voice to be positive and encouraging,
Right.
So make a conscious effort to replace those negative thoughts with positive ones. Tell yourself that you're capable and that you have potential. If you do that consistently, over time, you'll start to believe in yourself a lot more.
Now, I noticed that a lot of the things we were looking at also talked about the people we spend our time with and how they can affect our confidence.
Absolutely. The people you hang out with can have a big impact on how confident you feel.
Yeah.
So try to spend time with people who are supportive and who make you feel good about yourself. Try to avoid people who are always negative or people who bring you down.
Yeah, you want to stay away from those energy vampires.
Exactly. Look for people who inspire you to be your best and people who celebrate your success, no matter how small.
Yeah, and don't forget to celebrate those small wins yourself.
Right. It's easy to overlook those little achievements when you're focusing on a bigger goal, but every little win is a reason to celebrate, and it all adds up to build your self-confidence.
Yeah, it's like you're building a tower one brick at a time.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you finally understood a difficult grammar concept, or you had a good conversation in English, or maybe you're just proud of how much you studied today. All those little moments matter, and they all help you feel more confident.
Another thing that can help you build confidence is to step outside of your comfort zone. It might seem scary at first, but it can really help you grow.
Yeah, try new things, even if you feel a little uncomfortable. Every time you push yourself outside of your comfort zone, you become more resilient and you feel more confident. It's kind of like stretching a muscle. It might feel a little tight at first, but then it becomes stronger and more flexible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so whether it's practicing your English in front of a mirror or talking to a stranger or trying a new hobby, everything you do that pushes you outside of your comfort zone helps you grow and become more confident.
Now, what about visualization? I remember seeing that in a few places.
Oh, yeah, that's a really cool technique.
Yeah.
Basically, what you do is you imagine yourself successfully handling a difficult situation. Like, for example, maybe you're nervous about giving a presentation in English.
Right.
So you close your eyes and you imagine yourself up there giving the presentation and you're speaking fluently and confidently and everything is going great.
So it's kind of like a mental rehearsal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Doing that kind of mental rehearsal can help you feel less anxious. And it can help you believe in yourself more. It prepares you to face those real life situations with more confidence.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of different things today, but one thing I've noticed is that consistency keeps coming up. It seems like that's really important.
Oh, it absolutely is. Confidence isn't something that you can build overnight.
Right.
It takes time. It's a process. And it takes consistent effort and practice. Every day that you make even a little bit of progress, you're strengthening your belief in yourself.
It's like you're proving to yourself that you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. When you work towards your goals regularly, even if it's just a little bit at a time, you start to trust yourself more and you start to believe that you can accomplish things. And that is the foundation of confidence.
Another thing I noticed is that it's important to remember the things that you're already good at.
That's a great point. Take some time to think about your talents and skills and really appreciate them.
Yeah.
Celebrating your strengths can help you feel more capable and more ready to take on new challenges.
Yeah, it's so easy to focus on the things that you can't do yet, but remembering the things that you can do is a great way to boost your confidence.
Right, because it reminds you that you have abilities and it helps you to feel more positive and more prepared to face challenges.
Okay, so this one might sound a little strange, but learning to say no can actually be a really good way to build your confidence.
Yeah, that's all about setting boundaries, you
Yeah.
know? Learning when to say no to things that you don't want to do or things that you don't have time for can actually make you feel more confident.
Really?
Yeah, because it shows that you respect yourself and that you value your time and energy. It allows you to focus on the things that are really important to you.
So it's about knowing your limits.
Yeah, and when you know your limits and you're not afraid to say no to things, you free up more time and energy for things that make you feel good about yourself, and that helps you to build your confidence.
Earlier, we talked about how mistakes are opportunities to learn,
Mm,
but a lot of the stuff we read also talked about embracing failure more broadly.
right, and that's a really important mindset shift.
Yeah,
Failing is a normal part of life. It's going to happen. Everyone fails sometimes.
right.
But the important thing is to not let failure get you down. Instead, try to see it as an opportunity to learn and improve. It's not the end of the world. It's just a chance to try again with a little more knowledge and experience. And over time, that helps you to become more resilient and more confident.
Yeah, I guess it's all about how you look at it. Instead of seeing failure as the end, you can see it as just another step on the road to success.
Exactly.
And just to make sure that everyone really gets this, I want to talk about goals one last time.
Yeah, goals are really important.
They are.
Having clear and realistic goals helps you to stay focused and motivated. And when you achieve a goal, it gives you a real sense of accomplishment. And that feeling of accomplishment makes you feel more confident and it makes you more likely to succeed in the future.
It's kind of like a cycle, right?
Exactly. Success leads to confidence, which leads to more success. And it all starts with setting those goals.
Right. And we should also remember all those little things that can affect our confidence too, like our body language.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Standing up straight, making eye contact, smiling, all that stuff can make you look and feel more confident.
Yeah, it's amazing how much of a difference those little things can make. And we should also remember the importance of surrounding ourselves with positive people.
Right, because those positive relationships can really boost your confidence and help you stay motivated.
Exactly.
Now, there's one last thing I wanted to mention, and that's self-compassion.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good one.
I think it's really important.
Yeah, self-compassion basically means treating yourself with kindness and understanding, especially when you make a mistake or when things don't go your way.
Mhm.
It means being your own best friend instead of your own worst critic.
Right.
And that can make a big difference because it helps you to build a stronger and more resilient mindset.
So it's all about being nice to yourself.
Exactly.
And it sounds like having a positive mindset in general is really important for building confidence.
Oh, it definitely is. Your thoughts and feelings and actions are all connected.
Right.
So by focusing on positive thoughts and challenging those negative ones, you can really develop a much stronger sense of confidence in yourself.
And we can't forget to celebrate our accomplishments, no matter how big or small they are.
That's right. Take the time to acknowledge and appreciate all the progress that you've made. It helps you to stay motivated and it keeps your confidence growing.
And preparation is important too. We talked about that before, but it's really worth repeating.
It really is. Being prepared for whatever challenges come your way can help you to feel more in control, less anxious, and a lot more confident.
And don't underestimate the power of positive self-talk.
Right. All those little pep talks that you give yourself, they can really start to make a difference over time.
Yeah. Now, there are just a couple more points that I wanted to make sure we cover before we wrap up.
Okay.
One is the idea of constantly learning new skills.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one. Learning new things not only expands your knowledge and your abilities, but it also makes you feel more confident. And it can open up new doors for you. The more you know how to do, the more confident you're going to feel overall.
Right. It's like the more you learn, the more capable you feel.
Exactly.
Okay. And the last one I wanted to mention was the idea of helping others.
Oh, yeah. Helping other people is a really good way to boost your own self-confidence.
It is. Yeah.
It is. It really is. When you help someone else, whether you're teaching them something or offering them support or giving them advice, it makes you feel good about yourself. It shows you that you have something valuable to offer the world.
Yeah, it's kind of like proof that you're a capable and competent person.
Exactly.
Okay, so to sum all this up, it sounds like building confidence isn't something that happens overnight. It's something you have to work at.
Right. It's an ongoing process. It takes consistent effort, a positive attitude, and a willingness to try new things and step outside of your comfort zone.
So for everyone listening, if you want to build your self-confidence, maybe just pick one or two of the things we talked about today and try to make them a regular part of your life.
Yeah, any step in the right direction is a good step.
Exactly. And on that note, here's something to think about. Self-confidence isn't something that you're born with or without. It's more like a muscle that you can build with practice. So what will you do today to start building yours? Thanks for listening to Everyday English Cod.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.